Hey, everybody. William here with Ryan Koppel out in Oklahoma. How are you, Ryan?
Excellent.
Good.
It's been a great week.
Is this a little weird sitting here listening to yourself a little bit?
No, not too bad.
It's an adjustment for us. It's we're trying to do this in order to introduce Ryan as our new sales manager in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And so we felt like this is a good interview to just kind of sit down and talk about who you are, what's going on, explain it to the install team, Gino,
Walter, Chase.
Yep, exactly. And Steven Thurman to just kind of, introduce you as to the role here and what we're doing. And so with all that being said, Ryan, just tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from, where do you live, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I live in between Edmond and Guthrie, kind of a little bit, used to be more out in the country than it is with all the expansion going on. All the guys back there know what I'm talking about. And married, just celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary, which is awesome. We made it that far.
Yeah.
We looked at each other and said, you know what? I think let's just go the distance, shall we? So we're going to do that. 4 kids, amazing kids. 2 of them actually live real close. One's about 4 or 5 miles. They have 2 of our grandkids. And then my other son lives in Guthrie with his wife, and they have 1+1 on the way any day now, which is exciting.
So you being out here is, maybe she can hold off a couple more days, huh?
It's tenuous. Yeah, every day, like I'm looking for the call. My wife calls it. No, not that.
Okay,
I just wanted to call and tell you that the dog's fine and I'm fine and we miss you. Yeah.
So what's the secret for 30 years?
Man, that's a big one. I mean, I know it's got to be everybody for different, but probably the common things are you learn to do without the things that you think you have to have in order to give. And at least for us, again, it's been about, it's very humbling, I can say. Marriage for 30 years is extremely humbling.
Yeah.
I'm always been kind of an A type.
Okay.
And so yielding that in my, in that space so that we both have space to be each other, yet together at the same time. That's been, I'm sure there's books on it, but living it is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I can't see life. I can't even imagine where I'd be now or what kind of person I'd be without that challenge in my life. And I wanted to get married, have kids and all the prototypical stuff. It's been phenomenal. It's been heartbreaking at times, but what a ride, what a gift. I just cannot. And we look at each other and we're like, wow, we made it this far. I can't wait to see what the next 30 is going to be like,
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
I'm 13 years in, but
it's
a ways to go.
Yeah.
4 kids sounds like a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I know.
Love them.
I know how that is.
It's just neat to see how different they are. And two of our kids don't live with us. They live or by us. They live. My youngest daughter lives in Ohio State, by Ohio State. Okay. So Columbus. And then our oldest daughter came in and said, well, we're going to Puerto Rico. And we're like, uh-oh. Why Puerto Rico? She says, because I'm young and I can. Like, perfect. That's a great answer. Yeah. So she's really living.
She's still down there right now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's loving it.
Is that a good place to go visit?
So I didn't visit. My wife did. She loved it. It's got a lot of challenges as far as economic challenges and things, a lot of different ways that they operate there versus mainland. But just, of course, exploring an island, somewhere new, a different vibe, a different kind of culture. Cool. Their attitude toward life is completely different than mainland, even though it's part of the U.S., obviously.
Yes, sir.
But it's so she loved it. So now that's next on my list is to get out there and visit her.
That's awesome.
But every day I see videos of her snorkeling, scuba diving.
Just living the
dream. I feel like I'm living it anyway. Not, I can hear the waves. I just can't feel them. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your work history then.
Yeah. So as it relates to this, I've really been in home sales since about 1995, early 1995, and started out selling windows on telemarketed leads across 5 states. So it's, let's call that less than ideal to be as appropriate as I can be. And I put 11 years in there. And after the 3rd year, migrated into management, got tapped to do that, and found a real.
No, if you hold, so those 11 years doing that, what did that teach you? You kind of made alluded to the difficulty of that. So just figuring what did it teach you?
Well, I'm ashamed to say in the moment, nothing, because I fought it the whole time.
Okay.
It wasn't until I got to my next couple of chapters that I looked back and realized what a gift that was to start as hard as any business model, it's the hardest one to start out. It's all telemarketed outbound.
Okay.
It's a total grind. And I would never have appreciated that until I saw the other side, which was Champion and Renewal, to see a different business model. Being young and that's your only, it kind of really took a myopic approach to it, that I thought this is how all businesses operated in.
Okay.
Just to be, called everything but a human being and shut up and go do it and that kind of thing. So I really did. I even called a few of the guys, like, I appreciate you, never letting up on me so that I could be successful in my other careers. Cause I would never have been as appreciative or successful in my other veins had I not gone through that process. Yeah.
So it was like a pressure, even though you didn't even realize it at the time.
Had no idea.
You just thought this is just sales world. This is how it goes.
Yeah. It's like growing up without love and then somebody loves you. You're like, wow, this is different. It was really,
That's cool. Yeah. That's good.
It's really challenging.
And then from there?
So went on to, had an opportunity. Two of the guys that I worked with in Omaha had migrated over to Champion. And so at that time under Champion, you had to be vouched for to get an interview. You couldn't just come from outside. And so anyways, got through a long process. I won't belabor the whole issue, but it was extremely arduous just to get in front of these guys. They treated you like you don't matter. We don't need you. You had to literally fight your way in the whole way. So finally got an interview and aced it and got an opportunity to manage the worst store in the company, almost as if they're like, and literally they were like, yeah, this guy doesn't have a shot. They didn't look very highly of me.
And that's in Omaha?
That was actually in Dayton, Ohio.
In Dayton, okay.
Yeah. So I went to the corporate headquarters in Cincinnati, and they ultimately put me in Dayton, Ohio as a partner.
Okay.
So was told under no uncertain terms that nobody expected that to turn around. It was literally like the running joke of the business. Even my mentors looked at me and said, I can't believe you fell for that. I can't believe you took Dayton, Ohio. And made him eat those words. There you go. Actually came back and apologized after because we turned it into one of the best ones that one of the best companies in the brand.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then we ended up selling that and then going to Richmond, Virginia, and built 2 more stores there, Richmond and Fredericksburg.
Yep. Okay.
And then we sold that and went to Chicago, and that's where Summit Partners came in and bought them out, liquidating the equity positions. And so that was the last time with Champion. And then got tapped to go to Oklahoma City with Renewal. And I had a little different, a lot more skepticism on selling a $3,000 window in the Oklahoma City market. And then I got in and realized what an opportunity it was because of the Oklahoma market. People, cost of living is so low there. And, and everybody I talked to, because literally in the back of my head, I was thinking, gosh, this is going to be a tough sell. I'm trying to sell $40,000 worth of windows on a $100,000 house. The math just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right?
Okay.
And then I would just unpack the discipline and just watch people's reaction. And they literally were gravitating towards like, I want something better than my neighbor has. And I thought, okay, we got something here. And so we ended up going from, 3 million to 10 million to 40 million. Now they're doing 100 million. So it's just a world-class opportunity.
Yeah. RBA is a, kudos to them.
Behemoth.
I mean, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
The way they do business and everything, it's incredible.
Yeah. So then this, when we met, kind of been out of that leadership role for a while, went into sales for pools and built a solar company, and that's been fun. It's not my passion.
Okay.
But it's kept me busy for a few years. And so when we talked, it really lit that fire in me that my greatest reward at the end of each day is getting to help other people be the best they can. It's more than money for me. It's more than anything for me. It's just going home knowing I impacted somebody else, that they could see the best in themselves. And sometimes it's by force and sometimes it's with fun, but it's always at the end of the day, it's so refreshing. And that just has the last 2 weeks since we, first started communicating, I've just gone through and had some of those communications with the people that we've impacted each other's lives, and just telling those stories again. Like, remember when we first met, we first started. And so it's just lit those fires again. So I'm super excited about that.
That's really awesome. Yeah. And just to, tell Chase Walter Gino, we bought the location a couple years ago, and we really thought we were going to be able to get leads easier than we did. There were some cultural things that we had to navigate. Those guys know what we're talking about. Steve and Thurman, they're great. Both of them, Steve's got a great personality, great attitude. Thurman's new, but we didn't. I don't feel like we lived up to the expectations, and I'll just being vulnerable to them and saying like, hey, the way we had set up our sales leadership role, and it's nothing against John or the way we were doing things. It's hard to be in all these locations at the same time.
Sure.
And this is what we talked about in our interview and why we were trying to do this. And I want them to know is like, we're changing things up to the training is still going to be done the same way. We want our 10 steps to live for right now, because we think it's the best, most consistent way to write business, to get deals. And we just got to, rally around that. But from a leadership perspective on the ground, this is where you come in. Is like, we can't be there. John can't be there.
Yeah.
And so we want to like go do the ride-alongs with each other, motivate each other. We're not doing this in order to pick on somebody or any of that kind of thing, right? We're wanting to do this to build camaraderie and build a team.
Yeah.
We talked about it at lunch today, right? We're trying to get beyond like a narrative. We want to build a team, a culture, something fun. Yeah. And so, this is why we're pivoting and kind of going away from some of the things that we've done, because we got to in order to grow that location. And Oklahoma City is NBA market. It's huge. It's unbelievable. I love what you're talking about with the income levels, and people can afford these RBA windows at $3,000, $40,000 average sale. Right. We're selling something that people want or need.
100%.
You need windows too, but people with hip replacements, other issues, the independence of the shower, it's like it's there and primed. We just got to go create the culture and then go get after it. And then we got this whole team back here behind us that we can continue to push and get better. So I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that. Those kind of the premise of our interviews and what we talked about and what we're trying to build. Yeah. I don't know if you want to add to that.
Yeah, 100%. So the first week, of course, as a process, got to meet Walter, meet Chase, meet Gino, and I know I've echoed this sentiment, but looking at in the condition it's in now, without enough business and all those things, it's not broken, right? It's just there's a lull, right? I think we can say that there's a lack of activity in that branch. It's underperforming what it should be now, and so on and so forth. And there's no, there was no clear path to get ahead. And yet, what I can tell you is that you never saw that. I never saw it. If it exists, it exists under the covers. Walter's super excited about his job. Chase super excited to get after it. Yep. Gino's super excited to be there, mow the lawn. I mean, just everything, willing to do anything to keep this thing going. So it shows two things: a belief in themselves and a belief that they're in the right place. Even though everything is out there saying, "Hey, it's not as busy as it should be," and no excuses. Sure. Just it is what it is.
It is. Yep.
So, what I can tell you from an outside perspective, because I went into that week thinking I have a unique perspective. I've run $40 and $50 million business. I understand when I walk in a building what to look for. Okay. And I was looking for all the things wrong, and I actually found all the things right, which was really cool. I found everybody doing the right things, helping each other out. Yep. Even though it's a real small unit, they didn't let each other down, and they literally live and breathe that. So that's a testament to you guys and what culture you've built here.
Well, and that's to them too. I mean, they've somehow stuck with us for a couple of years here now. Yeah. But I mean, just those three guys, you got 30 years experience between them.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So it's there's nothing they can't go do. We just got to go. We got to go give it to them.
We talk about sales pillars. Well, that's an install pillar. That's a foundational piece of the equipment. Without good people to depend on, it really is tough to go out and sell with any lack or with any amount of confidence and swagger in that house. When now I can go in, I'm already armed with half the battle, just knowing if I make a promise to a client, and I live there, I've lived there for 10 years. If I make a promise to this person that this is going to go this way, it's going that way. I don't even have to blink with that. Good. That's amazing. So
and those guys, that should give you a lot of confidence walking into a house.
It does.
100%. It does. 100%.
Working under a few models, I've had times when the installers were a lot less than brand new or weren't properly trained, and you go in there and you do your best, but people can tell when you're faking it. People can tell when you don't believe. People can tell when you're making stuff up. Even they might not say it, but you can tell they're not 100% bought in. This eliminates that completely. And so that's super refreshing just to know these guys are bought in 100%, believe in themselves, number one, and believe in that. So I'm super eager to meet the sales team, obviously, because I haven't met them yet. Thurman and Steven, super excited to meet them. And super excited to get out there myself.
Yeah, of course.
I got this new toy, new tool, and I have a lot to prove to live up to what we need to do. So want to get after it, just all elbows and just get right in there and
it's good
and make it messy and make it happen. So
just change gears a little bit. What are some of the things that you and your family like to do for fun?
Oh, so many things. So we're foodies, love eating good food. I've got 1,000 pictures on my phone of our meals, love traveling and love swimming in the pool out back and hanging out, just spending time. Love playing Monopoly with the kids and beating the daylights out of them to train them to be cunning and sharp and get that will to win in them. And then my wife and I love just hanging out and on the back porch and chatting and just kind of let the conversation take us where it is. So.
Cool. Is there anything interesting about you that you wouldn't want the world to know, but maybe open up to these guys a little bit? Just some wild stories that you got?
Well, yeah, lots of wild stories, but so something weird. My wife would know, but I am 100% introvert.
Okay,
and I mean 100%. I could live the rest of my days without talking to another human being, and yet I'm in sales, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, that is.
And been able to help literally thousands of people build sales careers and training modules, et cetera, et cetera. So it's the exact opposite of where anybody that knows who I am would think this is what I would do for a living. They look at me like, really? That's what?
Do you find your time where you have to like go and sit down and be by yourself and alone to recharge?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't go a day without getting quiet time, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, or evening.
The pool, the back porch. That's
right. If I and at this age, what I realize, if I don't take the time to do it, it'll catch up with me.
I got you.
Mind will get scrambled. Get a little bit of agitation going if I don't take that time. It could be just 5 minutes of close my eyes, meditate, reflect, whatever. But that's how you stay ahead of things. At least in my world, that's the only way I can keep pace with the things that are going on, especially as you build.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So just kind of learning everything as we go down the road here. What, from your personal life that you've been talking about now, what is like your management style? Like what, if you're to talk to Thurman and Steve, like here's this new guy coming in the building, what should they expect?
The best people to ask that honestly would be those that have put me in charge of them and followed me up the hill. But to answer the question, it's a very lead by example style. I've always believed in that.
Okay.
So in all the roles I've held, I've never not sold, because that's my first responsibility, is to build the company's sales book in many, and that comes with many, many facets, obviously. But so I've never believed in coaching from behind a desk. I believe that if you're going to teach people how to be their best at sales, you have to be active today, right? And that's a philosophy that stuck with me since day one, and it's never let me down.
Yes, sir.
And I believe that that leaning on each other, meaning peer to peer, and if I'm selling, that means that just because my name's manager, my title's manager, that means nothing to me. The fact that we're all selling means we are going to learn together. We're going to expose each other. I mean, this is what I had yesterday. I couldn't overcome it. We're going to expose those weaknesses to each other.
Makes sense.
So that we can put another set of eyes, or, hey, I had that too. Because there are no silos in sales. We run cycles. We run into this objection, that kind of person, this kind of house, these conditions, all those things. And when we're open to each other about, I couldn't, and not a failure. Like it's not like I couldn't figure this one out. So help me out with that. And so we communicate about that. And it's not that it's always 100% right, but the goal of having that kind of style to me, leading from the front, so people aren't afraid to follow. And it's almost, that's my mentors that I was gifted with or fortunate enough to have in my life. They were all just get on my tail and follow me up. They never just sat there and said, you do. So I was gifted to have those kind of leaders. But then the other side of it is just to come together and figure this thing out so we can get better each and every day, right? Because that has to be the purpose. If we think we've arrived, then what's next? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If you can't think you can get better, then that's and we should want to, the more people we can help, the more market share, the better the results, and that gives us that thing that we work so hard to create, other than just a paycheck, right? That builds a brand, and that's our brand in that marketplace that we are responsible for. And that's when you get a good team. That's when you get a really good, rock solid group of people that don't say, "Hey, I have to go to work today." They're like, "I get to go to work today," right? Nice. And that's a cool,
that's awesome
place to be in,
And we can kind of start to end it with this, but if the guys are watching this, right? Because we're going to encourage them to. We really want them to.
Supposed to look at the camera. Sorry,
well, but we're gonna, when they turn this on, they're gonna be like, "What's in it for me?" Right? Yeah. And just for Stephen Thurman, it's like, you're getting paid a salary.
Yeah.
You're getting paid commissions off of sales.
Sure.
That you're going to generate, because that's what we want our sales managers to be out in the field, so that they know what there is with financing issues, paperwork issues, all the crap.
Sure.
The things that get on rejected, whatever. And then there's overrides for the branch, right? So it's important for them I want them to know this, because we're going to have sales goals. And if we hit those sales goals, you get a piece of it.
Sure.
And you can't hit those sales goals by yourself.
Right.
Which goes back to what you were just talking about. Yeah. So for those guys listening, is like, give us a chance, give Ryan a chance. The goal is not to come in to take, but it is to pour in to help us grow.
100%.
It's to help you guys sell more, so that you can achieve the goals that you want, so that our install team can continue to stay busy. And then from there, we would love to put a pressure on the backlog, so that we can go run more marketing, put more money out there, go look at places like Tulsa, open up a branch up there, hire a rep up there. Yeah. Steve and Thurman been running leads up there. And so we want to build something where we can hire somebody up there and share we need to quit being reactive to Oklahoma, and we need to go be proactive. And then that's what the install teams, like, build a healthy backlog, and then force us to have to hire more installers, have to be, and that's where so just so everybody knows, like, that's what's in it for you.
Yeah.
It's to build a healthier business for everybody. There's people out here that need it, that want it for their own personal gain. So that's what this is all about. No pressure, but that's what I'm asking for, is just everybody to, let's go grab the bull by the horns, get in. This is this little setup, this interview, as weird as it might sound, and getting into it.
It's a cool concept.
It's a way to introduce you to the group that we've never really done before.
Right.
And what a great opportunity this has been. So, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add.
No, I'm super excited to get back in. I'm starting to, after this week, I'm starting to pace in the room, because I'm getting to the point where I want to get back to Oklahoma and get after it. Really do. Yeah.
Yep. And the guys are excited.
I cannot wait to see, seeing the foundation I haven't met Stephen Thurman. Obviously they're hauling the mail without, any direct daily, somebody to lean on, somebody to, unpack their difficulties with, all those things, or share wins, high five each other. That's all part of this process, is to celebrate wins, and, like I said, communicate our failures to each other and all those things. Without that, the fact is, the guys have been doing it without that, and we've gotten this far.
Yep.
So this next chapter, when we put those ingredients back in, is going to be, that's exciting.
Yes,
it really is. It should be, and hopefully they get it too. That, again, I'm a resource. I got 30 years under my belt of training and selling. So, I don't know everything, but I've been around the block of, tens of thousands of homes, different models, got a pretty good depth of information that we can draw from together, so that we can really push our skill set. And I'll once we start pushing each other, my goal is to be the worst sales guy in the building, literally dead last. And that's going to be a great day.
I love it.
Everybody's winning. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. welcome to the team.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna
thanks so much.
Get this put out to these guys, and we'll can't wait to see what we can do together, man.
Awesome. Me too.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Will.